Sheesh. Mic check 1 2 1 5 6. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Mars and Taurus 2024 transit talk. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope you've enjoyed this light hiatus. Here we go. There we go. Once again, it's your boy. And we're going to talk about this Mars in Taurus transit. All right. Shout out to those of you late degree Geminis coming into your solar return. Shout out to you Cancers. It's your birthday season coming up. And shout out to all of you here who at this point have stood on the integrity of your value, and whether in the form of an individual or a whole group or collective of people, the forces at play which have done everything in their power to deter you from your path, to shake your confidence, and unable to, are getting ready to really experience so much more frustration, just seeing you succeed, just seeing you add more grounding and footing to the direction you're getting ready to go towards. I feel like maybe you might have an idea of how certain ideas, mindsets, philosophies, beliefs you have might rub certain people the wrong way. But I don't think you're truly aware of how much of a threat you may seem to certain people, especially the people who in your face pretend that, oh, you're not a threat. Oh, you're not a big deal. Oh, it's not that big a deal. But with their actions betray their very words. All right. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a very tangible expression of the definition of your self-worth and value that will have you getting ready to harness energy in very real and grounded ways that, which we will discuss in this transit talk, will move forward to enhance your brain function, your five senses, and how much stronger the actions you take are. Shout out to Lily. I love that. All right. I still don't get how I upset them is hilarious. I feel you on that as well. Especially for those of you who, you're not stupid. You know what I mean? You use your brain. You don't just get in your emotions and project them meaninglessly towards other people. So when people do that to you, it's hard for you to understand why they're behaving the way they behave, why they're acting the way they act. And once again, as we will talk about with Pluto squaring Mars, right? When I'm saying they, we're talking about an outside collective influence. Collective meaning universal, universal meaning literally everything and everyone around you in relation to your individual values and how it is you integrate and balance that. All right. So some of you don't understand why people reveal their true colors or a lack of character when you may trigger them. And the reason is you're not stupid. There's really nothing more to really figure out. You're not an idiot. You're not an SLB or a double L WLB. You're not a weak. You're not little, and you're not the B word. All right. And so when you're engaging with others who at their core are inherently insecure and weak, this is what you have been processing and experiencing. And we're getting ready to move forward as we weed out the weak. You know what I mean? To integrate this. And that is really what has certain people thrown off. This revolution of Taurus has had you stand your ground. And I think certain people are offended that you're okay with moving on without them. Certain people, certain influences, certain thought processes have attempted to leverage their meaningless respect over you, almost assuming that, oh well, if you keep on doing this, then I'm not going to mess with you anymore. I'm going to think this, and they're surprised that you're like, do that then. So your point is, and it's you really directly or indirectly expressing this level of self-worth that they either didn't know you always had, or they never really seen from you before, especially like that. Okay. And like Mike Hines said, you really just have to let them stay in their feelings. It's different if they're children. Most of these people are grown adults, completely be made, and wanting you to do the job of sorting through their feelings for them, while they don't have the balls to come to your face but can freely talk about you behind other people, behind your back, around other people. Like everything about what they're projecting to you actually is them. And this transit talk is not about talking about how we have haters. No, actually, Mars and Taurus is going to ground the direction with which you will connect more with like minds. And I'm not really all about going where you're celebrated and or tolerated. You go wherever you want to. But this is going to move forward into integrating building of character by, connecting with other like-minded characters. But especially no hands or substance. This is facts. And I think this is catching a lot of you off guard because you've been in a pressure cooker of development and evolution. And I think a lot of you assumed that just like you were growing up, everyone else was as well. And they did. But that doesn't mean that the way they grew was substantial, beneficial, meaningful. Certain people refuse to change and do better and grow better. And a period like this, now that we've activated these cycles, is showing you just how much you have grown. And that growing pain is shifting the perception of where you're no longer, being enriched. If anything, where you're being held back, which is important because now this will influence where more you can go and meet other people who you're on their level and they're on your level. Or maybe they're surpassing your level and that inspires you to even get higher, or to develop yourself better. So we're gonna go into this transit. All right. Um, I want you to comment in the comments section. What is it that you are excited about establishing? What value are you excited to bring into this world? What are you excited about manifesting? And as you do that, I want you to look at Pluto that is in Aquarius and Mars that is in Taurus. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So everything that you have commented, or if you don't know, that's totally fine. You will come into this. You are taking action to manifest this. This is going to be a very ground break. I love that bars. Ground breaking and um what's the word? Hallmark transit. I will actually break down how mathematically this is groundbreaking. But yeah, the you are awakening natural power. The strength of how you move moving forward is going to take into account everything over the past couple of months you've activated. And that's how you want to see it. Stephanie, thank you so much for your hipsy, by the way. I have received your hipsy. So and I received your chart. I received your chart. So for those of you who want a live reading, you click the description box below. I'm going to start with Stephanie and I'll break down Mars and Taurus. I'll say this announcement again. So yes, as you can see, right? Mars is 1 degree last week on the 10th, square Pluto. And the reason why that's very significant is because Pluto was conjunct Mars in Aries in Aqua, all right, like earlier in the year. And that represented the 0 degree conjunction cycle that sowed seeds. And Pluto hasn't been here since the 1700s, the end of monarchies in favor of representative democracies that, you know, would later have to deal with their own form of corruption, as we've now come back around, all right, into this day and age. And the activation through this conjunction of, I'm going to keep it a buck, supernatural power. That's it. There's such an intense disgust and frustration with muggles. Sorry, with those who adopt materialist reductionist philosophy, to the point where in their denial, they refuse to even really talk about things outside of the box of what they believe in. This is so that unconsciously they can support the illusion that they live. And the truth of your authenticity shatters that illusion. So a lot of it is a defense mechanism because they are WLB. I mean, you have to be stupid to not believe at some core that you are a soul. You have people who really believe they're just a physical body. And, you know, condolences. Hopefully one day, maybe they may wake up. Death usually wakes one up. So it is what it is, you know, when your soul goes to afterlife. So with that being said, for those of you who understand you are a soul having a physical experience, the supernatural mechanics, the metaphysical mechanics beyond the physical, beyond the 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum that you see, and your ability to intensify extremely higher knowledge in relation to the collective around how you express these actions represent a higher portion of your mind that you cannot even consciously perceive. All right. At least physically, but you can sense. So the reason why this is very relevant is that now that those seeds are making a 90-degree square, they're breaking through the ground. And Taurus, being this individual, grounded, condensed molecular point of physiology and physicality through our five senses, brings this to our ability to begin to make tangible these concepts. On top of that, when you're planting a seed, that represents the roots that are growing in your unconscious, quantum, auto nervous to you, that you don't see without the aid of tools. Until that seed breaks through the ground, you don't see what's happening underground. I'm not even going to say that you have to have faith that it will grow up, but you burrow that seed deep, right? And this in Aquarius was mental. So it's very interesting that the seed breaking through the ground, right? This earth ground side of Taurus, the 90 degrees is ground breaking the quality of these actions with this square of Pluto. And so that's where now that we're a week into this, you have been expressing the quality, the supernatural quality of your actions naturally as you have begun to integrate these supernatural powers you have awakened throughout the past few years, if anything. And you are now, of course, integrating through these actions this awakening of natural power, increased strength, increased fortitude, increased determination. And we're going to do this actually over the next 20 years. So while Pluto was in a Capricorn, we were dealing more with power and our character and the direction. And Mars squares to Aries and planets to Aries did this. Now, over the next 20 years, where Pluto's in Aquarius, we will do this every 2 years with Mars, every year with Venus and Mercury. And of course, most importantly, Venus made this square to Pluto, Mercury made this square to Pluto, Jupiter made this square to Pluto. All right. Sharon, thank you. I got your snapshot transit report. Shout out to you. And Jupiter made this square to Pluto. So as of this point, relative to this next era of collective human awakening, well, really just collective universal awakening, and now with Jupiter, the evolution of our minds and our brains and our perspective, you have begun to integrate your awareness, your brain, your heart, and expansion. Yes, transit talks are always available. Okay. And so now that you have begun to integrate and break through the ground relative to your physical senses, all of this is kind of like planning everything out. It's like you're aware of where we're headed, you've wrapped your brain around it, your heart around it, and now Mars going through here is acting off of it. And action. All right. Now you're actually getting ready to do this manifestation. Take action to manifest this quality. And as a testament to that, we are now officially a week from this transit. If we look at where the planets are today, now that Mars has made it 7 degrees, I would like to ask you, how do you feel? How much, what this should feel like is a much more natural and smooth expression of your values, feeling more comfortable in your skin. And that's the most important thing about this square, because when you're breaking through that seed from the ground, you're taking unrealized, unintegrated facets of raw shadow darkness within you, and it is now getting ready to come out of the light of your consciousness. So, this is why, and I don't want to speak for you guys. Please comment if this has happened for you. You can comment um, a you can comment breakthrough. I want you to comment breakthrough if over the past couple months, and specifically the past week and a half, you might have felt extreme rage, anger, frustration in dealing with these opposing frequencies that attempt to gaslight you and see you as less than you are, but spin it around that it's your problem for standing up to yourself. It's you're not standing up for yourself. You're hard to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like if you felt maybe a much more intensity that maybe you might not be the most comfortable with, or it's like, wow, I didn't know. I like some of you might feel like you're getting so much darker. Some of you might feel like, okay, you're taking the nice guy or nice woman gloves off. And what's important for you to understand is it's not that you're getting darker. You've expanded the space within you, and the unrealized potential and energy that has been within is as it breaks through the ground, it's getting ready to balance. So there's so much unfiltered, latent energy within you that is gonna be like waking up groggy, like, why'd you do that? Da, 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 da. So what's happening is this extra energy you're having to integrate is going to feel like that, especially the more unapologetic you are. And what's going to happen is, as we come to the opposition in Leo and we're cheery, you are going to be able to completely balance this. You're going to be able to fully integrate this. But that's where, through the rugged, rough, natural Taurus energy, it's going to be really real. It's going to hit a certain way. All right. And for those of you who commented breakthrough, this is a very great sign that you have done great development. That 90-degree fourth house comfort zone that you're shaking out of can manifest itself through your evolution by making those around you feel super uncomfortable. Those around you who gain a lot by leveraging a previous lack of self-esteem, or by being able to undermine your value or worth, or I will say gaslight, as much as I want to say gaslight you or play with you, are suddenly coming to the realization that even though they couldn't before, even less they can. I mean that in the form of you're standing your ground. You are owning up to your values. You are standing for something. And let me let you know, the increased intensity of hatred, and it doesn't have to be specific. This is just like a vibration. This is like a concept towards you. You're not the only one feeling this, right? But that intensity is not in your head. The fact that you're feeling that is a telltale sign that your capacity to sense energy has been so much more pronounced. So basically, through Mars and Aries, you have unlocked the force. Mars through Capricorn has awakened the power of the force and your ability from Padawan to Jedi. And now in Aquarius, you're awakening greater knowledge of the energetic field that is the force. Mars in Aries, for example, has unlocked the power that has put you in a position to move forward in an original direction. And now you're getting ready to manifest through Taurus your direct, tangible ability to use the force. And we're going to do this. This isn't just a one-time thing. This is we're going to update this like a firmware update. But this is kind of like one of those updates that bringing a new precedent. And then once Mars goes into Gemini, we will shift perspective. Alex Jones is a really great example of this. What's happening to Alex Jones is pathetic. It's pitiful. And I think it's just yet another example of how fallen, this country and the way people deal with independent media is. All right. And it's putting, just keep that in mind. If they can do what they're doing to the 45th president of the United States and Alex Jones, I'm not saying this as fans of them, that what they did to them, they can do to Democrats, liberals. Please, I hope once again you don't think this is some left versus right bullshit. What they do to the right, they will do to the left and everyone in the middle. So we're just talking about established precedents that are occurring. And it's just something to keep in mind. Please don't let that deter you from speaking your mind. And please understand that the false authorities that leverage their power corruptly are all falling down. Even if it doesn't seem like that in the moment, the power within you, the universe within you, the force within you is more powerful than the bullshit being projected at you. Okay. And what you're going to really find through this transit is more than ever a natural, grounded, practical, tangible element of stability towards the power you have been developing. All right. This is going to be very reassuring if up until this point you have been kind of experiencing minor breakthroughs, but they haven't been as consistent. Taurus will provide that grounding. All right. And the first decade of Taurus, ruled by Venus, is effectively going to bring, accordingly, a very unique element of polishing these actions. This is what's going to make smooth the nature of how much you take action of the values you have set in play. Okay. And when we take that into account, I think tangible, yes, the most important question here. Tangible means you can touch it. So with Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, there are a lot of metaphysical concepts you've been brewing since 2012 that, whether you've created technology to make physical or you've made it come out of thin air, you're making it happen. All right. For example, the affirmations I use, I came up with a new affirmation set that I've seen results for within like hours. I was watching a couple videos where two people challenged themselves. Someone did an affirmation for 16 hours and became a millionaire the next day. Another person did an affirmation for 10 hours and they were already coming into results within the 6th hour. I've done this too. I have receipts. I've talked about how I've received a check for 400, a check for 700 after just saying it once. So, I played with a new affirmation set, and previously, you know what I mean? Link to those affirmation videos. Oh, Son Goku, I got you. I'm gonna put the link to those right now then, since you guys want to see it. Basically, um, you know, the affirmations I've used before, I've gotten subtle results. Like the results I get from just using robotic affirmations, saying them over and over. It's not like everything around me changes, but there's this very subtle internal shift that adds up exponentially with just a small amount of time. So, I would like to provide a tool. I would like to provide an affirmation set. I feel like I came up with it yesterday. I don't think it's original. You know what I mean? But in fact, no. Forget the affirmation set. I'm just going to provide one we've done before. Yeah, I'm just going to provide one we've done before. And I want you to challenge yourself to actually use it. You probably already use it, right? I'm looking for the other video. I want you to, okay, there we go. I want you to challenge yourself to just, now that Mars is in Taurus, incorporate it in whatever you're doing, incorporate it in how personally I should have done that. And how personally you're already doing what you're doing, especially at the end of Gemini season. And watch how the results to this, what the heck? Watch how the results to this will immediately just show themselves. And it's as simple as saying everything in my life is perfect. Or you can say, I have an unlimited amount of anything. That one is so goated. I love that one. Hold on. Let me put the links in the description below, because these videos are really fun. Like once you see that, like just seeing results are really cool, but it really just gives you an idea of people are out here doing this. You know what I mean? People are out here getting results for this. And it's not any hocus pocus magic. It's just aligning a mindset and impressing your subconscious. Okay. So if you press refresh, I just saved it. Affirmation results. I have 2 links there. you could check that out. Okay. So once again, basically, if you just use this one, and the beautiful thing about Taurus and effectively Mars in Taurus, this is going to help you if, and I had to catch myself. I think at some point we all do this, right? Whether you have an internal or external locus of control, but sometimes we can unconsciously expect what we want to come from outside of us. Oh, I'm waiting for this to happen. Oh, I'm waiting for that to happen, right? If this is going to happen, it has to happen like this. What this transit's going to help you do more than ever is come from within. So it's like, I have this and I don't have to look outside of myself because I'm literally manifesting the energy. I'm creating the energetic field. It's coming from within me. And saying these affirmations will click it into gear. This is all you need to say. Everything in my life is perfect. Here's an affirmation set that I want you to practice from now until July 18th. And by the time Mars goes into Gemini and you finish loading it, you will already start to see results the same day you use it. Do you have to say it repetitively? You can just say it once. It's just, if you say it once, don't go back on your word. All right. You must honor your word. The cheat code towards this is deciding once and for all that it's already done. Okay. That once you decide that what you said is already done, and you've surrendered to that, and it doesn't matter how it happens, and you don't waver, you don't have to say it over and over. If you're doing techniques at that point, this basically is just adding more sauce to it. I like quick results, so I will use robotic affirmations. That shit works instantly. And more so the internal shift. That's how you'll know you get it. You're not looking outside for why isn't it happening yet. You no longer doubt it. You understand you have power. All right. So here's an affirmation set that is super badass. I'm actually gonna put another video, the It Is Done video. That one was really cool. Gain some insight with that if you want to check that out. It's called The Universe is Waiting on You. Okay. I'm going to put that there right now. But once once I kind of really embraced that, the energy shifted immediately. Like, imagine just the power of knowing. And the reason, because it's so simple, I'm going to hook it up with a lot of, because these resources are nothing that you don't already know, but they're just so helpful. You know what I mean? So I'm going to even put another video. Hold on. And take your time. You know what I mean? Basically, once you have decided it is already done, the universe gets to work on your order. It's literally like ordering something. And I'm not trying to preach a prosperity gospel. I'm not trying to make this about what you get as much as the mindset you're developing. All right. So because this is so simple, and if you refresh the page, I have the updated links. I put 4 new links, right? Basically, and be mindful of people who try to use religion or science to guilt trip you out of this, like, oh, this is of the devil, or oh, this isn't logical, when they can just apply the scientific method to it and see it themselves. Those are agents that are threatened by you stepping in your power, and they're using those flesh vessels to, through their programming, knock you out of your magic. All right. Yeah, I said it like that. Magic, baby. So with that being said, it could be hard to accept that all you have to do is just affirm your intention. That's it. Like, that's the power of God. You are awakening. I decide I'm having the best day ever today. That's it. That's it. It is done. That's it. I've sent that to my higher self. He handling that. That's it. That requires a level of fortitude and confidence in yourself that if you're too caught up on, oh, this is happening, you're just giving your power away. All right. So don't take my word for this. Let's practice the scientific method here. Here's an affirmation set that you can use if you would like to, and this is really all you need. And hold me to this. If you use this affirmation set, right, and that's all you say, you don't even need to lift a finger. If all you did was just sit on your couch all day and just say this and not even go to work, that's it. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to work. Do you? But I'm saying that's how much power you have within, where there's nothing outside of yourself you need. And don't take my word for this. I want you to try it. Here's the affirmation. Are you ready? Are you ready? We're going to do Aries, Taurus, Gemini. I am, I have, I think. You ready? I am limitless. I have an unlimited amount of anything, and everything in my life is perfect. Boom. Fire. I am limitless. I have an unlimited amount of anything. Everything in my life is perfect. I'm limitless. I have an unlimited amount of anything. Everything in my life is perfect. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And you can build on that. You can edit it. You could just say one of them. That's it. That right there, if you haven't practiced it, you will see immediate results just by doing. And I'm saying, like, do you have to be in the zone and do it like for an hour or 3 hours straight? Like, I'm limitless. I'm limitless. I'm limitless. I'm limitless. It's really up to you. You can decide to say it just once. I am limitless. That's my word. Boom. And anytime any doubt arises, you remind yourself of what you said. Or you could say it over and over to quickly impress it in your subconscious, or you can integrate it into your language. Yeah, I just had a taco the other day. Yeah, it was really dope. Everything in my life is so perfect. And I know you're not trying to mess with me. I'm limitless. Like you can use it in any way you want. Just make sure you're not wavering and going back. Virgo Goddess asked a really great question. Say this until when? You can say this until you see the results you want to see. You can say this indefinitely. In one of the videos I shared, like she mentioned that she used an affirmation to have clear skin. And sure enough, her skin cleared because of the actions she was inspired to take, as well as just maintaining this mindset. But she, even with clear skin, she never stopped saying it. And that's really, this is a mindset. These affirmations are just thoughts. So you never really want to stop thinking it. You're always going to be limitless, right? But you want to shift from saying it because you're using it to get a result versus saying it because that's who you are. So when you're saying I'm limitless, you're becoming limitless. I am the person who has an unlimited amount of anything. This is just how I think. This is what I think. So if it's not already a pattern in your brain, this is where repetition will impress this in your subconscious. But it's a good question because you'll intuitively know. There will come a time where you feel like you don't have to say it anymore because it's broken in you. You know what I mean? You've expressed it through. And by surrendering to how it's supposed to look like and knowing that the power comes from you, because the power doesn't come from these affirmations. The words you're saying, like the actual affirmation is not what manifests this. You manifest this. If you just decided to say poop, 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 and poop means I have unlimited power, then poop is going to manifest unlimited power for you. It's the intention and it's the knowing. So when you're saying I'm limitless, you know you're limitless, right? When you're saying that you're going to have a great day, you say it in the knowledge that, oh, I know my day is going to be great. And you're not going to you're going to have the discipline to control your thoughts and not allow any doubt to make you believe otherwise. And this is where agents do exist. Metaphysical facets of the collective unconscious will test to see whether you're just saying that and you rely on an external environment to prove it, or whether this certainty comes from within you. All right. And once you kind of recognize that this is your magic, there you go. So Mars and Taurus is awakening the natural strength of these values. And this is going to really reflect so much more intensely. Okay. Once again, you want to be mindful. Can you believe in it when everything looks like it's going wrong? Is the most important test, because it's not even anything you have to believe in as much as just like don't waver and just keep going. Literally just keep doing it. The Virgo goddess, there's also a video down below that just says literally just keep doing it until it happens. And your psychological illusion of time can trick you into believing that something has to happen before it has to happen. Your higher self is taking all your affirmations. Your higher self experiences your reality outside of the space-time illusion, because scientifically speaking, you're seeing the past. By the time light refracts from your eyes, the moment has already happened. So you're not even really seeing the present moment. That's why it's an illusion to look at your present moment and accept it as reality. The Nobel Peace Prize was won for proving that this universe is not here and local. It's not real and local. Okay. So just keep that in mind. You are a soul having a physical experience, and you have been given the authority to trample over serpents and scorpions. Pray to God with the knowledge that what you have prayed for has happened. Pray without ceasing. All right. These are just affirming these thoughts in the now. Imagine if you had the power behind it. Like, I know this is going to come true. I know this is happening. It's already done. And this is what this Mars and Taurus is going to have you naturally move forward in. And it's very frustrating when you, like, there's certain people who I talk to and they're like, can you look at the stars and tell me when this is going to happen? Or could you please reassure me that this is going to happen? Like, a lot of people want other people to tell them that what they want to happen is going to happen. A lot of people want to see, oh, this tarot card said it's going to be good, or this planetary aspect said it's going to be good, when no, like they don't. You ever talk to people who are frustrated when you tell them that the power is in you? I used to be one of those people. I used to hate hearing that. I'm like, that's not telling. Give me some real insight. And it's really sad. This is how we've conditioned ourselves out of our own power. You have been conditioned to do this. So a lot of people a lot of people will say, yeah, I tried it, but they don't. They're willing to put in like, think about this. This is negative witchcraft that people do on themselves. They're willing to spend hours worrying about something seemingly out of their control, but they won't even put 2 hours in continuously affirming for what they want, which if they did, they would already see results. So you are fully responsible for your reality and environment. And that's what enables you to harness this power. There are truly no excuses, because you have been blessed with your own unique gift. If you look outside yourself, you're going to split your energy. And it might as well hold you back, you don't doubt. And I might and well hold you back, don't doubt. It's very important. So I just wanted to really get those concepts out the way, as important as they are, because your ability now with Mars adding tangibility here, your ability post Gemini season to notice the effects of this and the potency of this is going to be night and day. And we're going to move forward to continue to activate, evolve, and move forward. Like by the time Mars is in Gemini, oh, we getting popping. All right. Mars in Aries is what moved forward the direction to prepare all these countries for war. Now, drafts are happening. You want to think of the god of war, Mars, going through Taurus, is every country stacking up their armament. They're getting their guns, they're getting their weapons. And then once it's in Gemini, boom, you know what I mean? Like you're going to see activity happen now, but be mindful of the July summer period because shit is getting ready to spiral out of control. Oh, and it has to be out of control. But keep in mind that 2020, Mars made its 2-year cycle through Capricorn. 2022, it went through Saturn with Aquarius. And now 2024, it went through Saturn with Pisces. That's it. Everything is set in place. We are headed into war. Like that's facts. And by the time we come back in another 2 years, we're in the New World Order. Saturn Aries in its fall, Mars Aries in its dignity. And we're fighting a new fight to protect our individual rights. By the time Neptune's in Pisces, people are disillusioned out of identifying with their nationality, culture, ethnicity. You're recognizing your core identity beyond the physical. And it's going to really mark a very important era. So with that being said, by the time Mars goes into the second decan, all right, this is what's going to, with the Mercury sub-rulership, begin to wrap your mind around the finesse of these actions. And the quincunx to the nodes here will manifest the quality of the destiny you're personally unlocking in your mission, adding a lot more footing and traction. All right. This, of course, is going to lead to the sextile of Mars to Saturn, which around this period, Venus and Mercury connect with Mars. So if we look at this period while the moon is on Mars and Taurus, and you're understanding en route for this new moon in Cancer, how we're going to direct these emotions and psychic power, the power of your mind, all right, that you fuel with your emotions. By the time Mars is now with this retrograding Saturn, you are anchoring these metaphysical beliefs. You are anchoring this integrity of beliefs with the natural way during the new moon of how you take this natural action. And it's making so much more tangible the quality of how much more smooth you are already taking action. That's where, that whole notion of feeling this intensity and darkness is going to further integrate and add to your smoothness, add to your strength. I think more than ever during this period over the next couple of weeks, you will have more of a sense of confidence that you're acting off on than ever. This is going to make you more sexy. This is going to give you more confidence sexually. This is going to have you be more assertive because you've already established values that you stand on. Now you're taking action off of them. All right. And by the time we get into the third decan post new moon, this is what's going to put you in a position to come into one of the most important aspects we're getting ready to have. We're fixing to have the Uranus-Mars conjunction, which if this doesn't really manifest in some kind of explosion or whatnot, I don't know. The reason why I look very seriously at Mars-Uranus conjunctions is every time we've had a Mars-Uranus conjunction, it's been significant. The original Mars-Uranus conjunction that we had 2021 literally brought, that very day was the January 6th riots. You know what I mean? So like to revisit this now, and it wasn't even really a riot, but you know the controversial, the 26 degree conjunction here is going to sow very unconventional seeds and moving forward at this mastery of quality where you're perfecting the strength of this action and how much, how much more naturally you can harness this energy at will. This is going to open up unconventionality and how much better you can apply your out the box thoughts and how much more supernaturally you're going to see a direct innovation of everything you do moving forward. So everything before the 16th and the new moon in Cancer is really going to prepare you for that. This is what's going to, of course, lead into the the sextile of Neptune, and have you align so much more with your imagination relative to not only Neptune here, but Mercury that will get ready to square this, so that the general solid mastery of this action, you're ready to communicate socially on stage, all right, while still holding toward your values and not being too influenced by others around you, okay, right before the full moon in Aquarius. So a lot to look forward to. Once again, Mars is going to really be in a very pivotal position to prepare you accordingly. And of course, really make tangible the awakening of power that you've painstakingly put in work to do. And you're going to experience more alignment with synchronicities, more conscious willpower in bringing into reality what it is you're intending, and the smoothness of finesse of how you strengthen your confidence through all these actions as well. And by the time, Mars now comes into Jupiter with Gemini, see, Mars hit Neptune, it hit Pluto in Aqua, it hit Neptune in Pisces, it hit the North Node in Chiron in Aries, it's going to hit Uranus in Taurus, and then Jupiter is the last one to go. All right. Then it's going to hit Jupiter, Gemini. That now are all the activations we're going to get for the next 2 years. Huge deal. Huge deal. We're getting ready to evolve. So first, we're innovating the action before we evolve it. And you're going to experience this in increased power. I mean, you just awakened the force. So this is just going to innovate what you're awakening and activating at a deeper level. And once again, I think it's something that you should look forward to, because it's going to be really freaking dope. Okay. So before I get into the live readings, Carrie, I got your Venmo. Thank you very much. Before I get into the live readings, I do want to remind you all that if you click on the description box below, you will see a link to my Mars and Taurus transit talk. We're going to go with the $5 price points instead of $9.99. You can get all zodiac signs for $12.50. All right. So for those of you who want insight about how this is going to influence your zodiac sign, how Mars is in Taurus, if you have an Aries rising, Taurus rising, if you want insight into how this is going to impact your sun, moon, or rising, I do provide action steps. Like, hey, while Mars is in this house or at this angle, you can do this to promote this or that. And I will brush over each of the transits as well and what that's going to do. Once again, it's just such a really great way to support. And I do want to make it affordable enough so that you're not having to spend an arm and a leg. Of course, if you are Infinity Club, you've probably seen that I've uploaded this already. All right. And yeah, check that out. And then also, Sharon, I see you've ordered the snapshot transit report. For those of you who want a 15-minute breakdown of Mars and Taurus, you are welcome to order this report. If you use the discount code Mars, you will get this report half off. Sharon has already used it, so there's only 9 spots available for this for the half off code. So please take advantage of that if you are interested in that, and we will hook you up. So with that being said, we are going to step into the live reading, and we will start with Stephanie. Okay. With which we know you have the late Aqua rising. And Pisces and Virgo are intercepted in your chart. So even though I will also use equal signs and acknowledge that Pisces is your second house, we still will also acknowledge the interception and Saturn and Neptune falling in the first when we can blend the second. So this is very, very amazing, especially when we take into account that with your IC in Gemini, and Taurus in, you have Taurus a part in your second house, third house, but we could see it as like a huge third house, fourth house. It's preparing you for major integration. And I definitely got you. I'm looking forward to that, especially Stephanie, with this quality of as a late aqua rising, the divinity you are manifesting as a part of your personality, the abstract metaphysical entity you are being, and by that the universal divine reflection as a divine being, as a high queen ascended master, is enabling you not only to harness this integrity with Saturn in your rising, but with the connection of Taurus, it's naturally grounding in your mindset and attitude the foundation with which you will begin to innovate your comfort zone through. So Mars is going to really push forward everything that Venus, Mercury, and the Sun have already activated. You've already, over the past couple of months, been aware of what this shift and evolution in your comfort zone is. Jupiter is going through your IC, so you might be moving, renovating your inner home. And this is what's going to really now act off of everything you've planned and move you forward accordingly. As a Cancer, Sun, and Moon, you're going to go through your solar return. So, this is also while you are establishing the shift of your comfort zone by taking action to break through in this way, you will immediately be applying this creatively. You will immediately be integrating this into a new way you feel about your lifestyle because the home space with which you operate in has upgraded. So it's a lot to look forward to. And knowing that this Taurus energy is 300 and to 330 degrees Aquarius signature from your sun, it's also going to influence the natural friendships, those who you feel individually belong around you in these private spaces, and how the skills you're awakening and developing add to your value. Um, Especially now knowing that the South Node in Libra is unlocking your outer planets in Libra, or yeah, like Saturn and whatnot there. It's going to really drive back home the original value that you're manifesting and that you are kind of unlocking and coming into investments from others who trust in your original value. So I think all of this happening during your solar return, Mars and Venus on your sun right now, it couldn't have come at a better time. And it's going to really encourage a lot of how you apply the responsibility that Saturn in your first is making towards how much more creative with this responsibility you create with, and you come into a dramatically increased potency of your abilities and everything you've already developed, which is really cool. Like for those of you born in the 70s and 80s, unlike us born in the 90s and 2000s, you have so much experience. You've developed so much of this latent potential that is just going to give you so much more to work with moving forward. And that's going to be increasingly exciting as well. All right. So, Carrie, we do know that as a Cancer rising, all this Cancer rollout of energy is uplifting you through the 12th house in Gemini. I love the story you told me about how that played out for you and how you were having to release, something tied to a Gemini as well. And now that you've kind of made the appropriate decisions to also stand on your worth, this is preparing for you to take this mindset moving forward in a new defined way that you will feel about your identity, about who you are. And as an Aries sun, it's going to provide deeper understanding as at this point of your personality. So Mars going through your 11th is very crucial because it's not only taking the past couple of months that set up these rewards from career. Stephanie, thank you as well. All right. Very honored. and also, the natural quality of who you think belongs around you is going to have you take action off of everything you've set up and planned. And that's what's really going to get the ball rolling as you debut this new first house cycle. All right. I legitimately believe that everything up until this point, knowing that, was preparation. It's like you built the blocks, you built everything that was necessary to move forward here. And now you're going to come into more of this recognition, realization, especially knowing that you're a gangster. You have Saturn on your rising. You know what I mean? Like, you have a God construct with an angel soul. You have Zeus. You've always had this larger than life power. You have Zeus near your sun, you have Kronos near your rising, you have the goddess of beauty in your soul, so you know what's up. You're a character that has, it works directly with God, and this is going to really frustrate any part of you that hasn't yet accepted where you're headed next. Although talking with you're full on speed ahead, which is really beautiful. And if anything, it's going to frustrate others who are no longer ever really in a position to influence or manipulate you, maybe the way you may have given them grace or have allowed them to. Mars, once again, moving through this section in your 11th, is, because this is rewards from career, going to have you manifest not only all of this, but it's sextiling your Mars and Pisces, which is going to bring more tangible quality to the vision and the imagination that inspires your action. And yeah, if anything, with the opposition of Uranus 0 degree Scorpio, that transit with your Uranus square Pluto is just adding a lot of uncanny intuitive intensity to already knowing before anyone realizes the direction to move into and why you're even doing what you're doing. But this is definitely, in a very unconventional and unexpected way with Uranus, I think also going to set you up for a lot of wealth and meeting the right people at the right time as well, which is really cool. Oh, wow. All right. So, that being said, once again, if you click the description box below, is the list still open? Um, I guess we can do last call here for any of you who would like a reading. If not, I'm gonna head out. And yeah, rewards and big fun. That's really the biggest thing. Like, the hard work is paying off. And the rest of this year is really going to transition the results of that. So by the time Jupiter goes over your rising, is up. It's a whole new wave moving forward. And that's really the biggest thing. It's like you've kind of let other people know what's up, and whoever is going with you is going with you. Once you move forward, it's too late to move forward with you. All right, like, it is what it is. Like, there's really no going back here. Tessa, this is really beautiful. Once again, as a fellow Cancer rising, the 11th house will be you taking action relative to who you're wanting to move forward with. And thank you so much, Torian. Um, which is a huge deal. Like, the 11th house Taurus is an individual natural quality of your own values that influence who you attract as friends, and it is the results and rewards towards the individual original legacy you have. So this is going to be you walking on fertile ground, and you're definitely going to be taking action with individuals who align with your ideals and who align with your values. And as a Sagittarius sun, unlike with Carrie, who, she's also going to move forward with people who align with it, but as an Aries sun, she's going to be manifesting more finances with these people. For you as a Sagittarius sun, and I'm glad you received that, this is going to tie your awareness around your behavior and how you're influencing the behaviors of others, how the friends you're connecting with are influencing your behavior, how the actions you're taking tie, whether through techniques or the work you're doing together, everything since last year, December, you've set in place. And it's really beautiful, preparing for, of course, Mars to oppose your sun in Gemini. I think as a result, it's going to really go a long way towards, in the 11th house of rewards, really reward you. And not only really have you come through into this realization, but unlike Harry, you have your moon in Chiron in Taurus. So Mars is also going to activate the Uranus, it's going to activate the soul healing power you have, because you not only have you're not only a vessel of natural healing. This is amazing. Like, Moon, Chiron, Taurus, opposite Uranus, Mercury, Scorpio. I don't think you guys understand. Tessa has the ability, like Uranus, Mercury, Scorpio is the ability to look through someone's physical body and see the irregularities that need healing. I don't know the medical terminal lingo, so it's going to sound like bullshit, but like, you are intuitively sensing psychological dis-ease within situations, and then you are sourcing natural energy within your body to actually charge or do whatever. And knowing you have all the Virgo perspective, like Saturn and Virgo North Node, gives you the critical perspective to angle how it is to work with that. So Mars, after Jupiter's evolved this, now that Uranus is in Taurus opposite your Uranus, it's just, and for those of you born 79, for those of you born in the 80s, you're going through this too, just with your own perspective. For those of you with Chiron in Taurus and Uranus in Scorpio, you have completely finished the pipeline. So you don't have to charge the energy anymore. It's just turning the faucet on and on. This is something that you guys have that us in the 90s, we haven't finished building that construction pipeline. We still have like half a decade to go. So that's why I love seeing this. Like, it's so badass. And then out of every generation has a different quality. You guys in the late 70s, early 90s, you have like some of the purest, rarest quality of it, which makes it even more badass. So yeah, just, something to keep in mind. It is controversial. A lot of this innovates previous traditional methods, especially if they're influenced by materialist reductionism. You specifically with Neptune on your sun that can see beyond the physical. So this is just going to help you feel more comfortable around your own skin and enjoy these rewards as you get ready to transcend them throughout the rest of the year moving forward. Okay. And, I think it will also be a great test with you and everyone who has Chiron and Taurus. I think it's a great period to actively practice your healing abilities. Lay hands, start laying hands on people more than ever. Lay hands on situations, lay hands on your food. I think a lot of you already do this. Lay hands on an experience, and you're going to realize, wow, there's so much more I can do with this. And yeah, you know what I mean? So for those of you who would like that transit report, it's still available. For those of you who would like to just order the $5 report, just so you can get an insight of what to focus on during your sign, that's also available as well. If you are Infinity Club, shout out to you. You already have access to that. You guys are freaking amazing. You know this. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, where we'll talk about Mercury and Cancer. And until next time.